You can buy all of the hair products that I currently use at a pharmacy. I can show you how I get this done at a later video, but I'm mostly going to talk about hair loss and my experience with ROgain. This is also not a gender specific video. I want to talk about the two products that I purchased at a drugstore that helped my hair loss that I am not monetizing on at all. There will be not a single affiliate link on this video. I will link it, but I will not make money off of those links. So the number one thing that helped me with my hair loss was seeing a dermatologist and getting my life in order. I started talking to them as soon as hair loss started showing. And then I found out that I have male pattern baldness, which is the hottest girl thing I have ever had. And when I talked to my dermatologist about it, she basically told me that I need, one, chill out, and number two, need to get over all of the things I've learned about hair care, to let go of the idea of not washing your hair. She said, not washing your hair is actually not going to help you at all. It might make things worse. Don't use castor oil. Why would you make your oily hair already more oily? And obviously I have really shiny hair, but that's also because I have really oily hair. Talk to your dermatologist about your hair and your hair texture. If you are someone who feels like they can't wash their hair every day, abandon that. Believe me, I started a medication that did help that I highly recommend talking to a dermatologist about. I will say that it made me pee a lot, but other than that, it was an awesome experience. But I started ROgain. I was a little nervous about starting the pill version of ROgain, so I ended up starting the foam version of ROgain. And if you ever start this, if you are a woman, buy the 5%. They will say this is for men only, but it doesn't affect your hormones. So buy the 5%. Do not fall for the pink tax. This is actually the woman's one because this is the only one they had at the store and I ran out. But I used ROgain for about a year. And people, when they talk about ROgain, is always like, yeah, but when you miss a dose, all your hair falls out, which is actually not true. It's kind of like using moisturizer. You just kind of have to maintain it. So just think about it the same as like putting on lip balm or putting on Vaseline on your lips or putting on moisturizer. It's going to help. And it is something that is not a sexy product. Like all of these hair loss pills, all of these like supplements you could take, all of these oils you could put on your scalp. Out of all of these, this is the least sexy marketing of all time because there's so much stigma around it. And it was really embarrassing at first. So I would say for the first 2 months, the first few weeks, nothing happened. And then after I dealt with the dread shed, it was just traumatizing in the shower. Like I would go in the shower, I'd wash my hair, a bunch of my hair would be on the sink or in the drain. I would freak out. And then I would go to my boyfriend and I would tell him that I'm balding and that the world is ending. And then I would Google it. And it turns out when you are growing hair, when you put this on, what is going to happen is that the hair that was going to die is going to fall off, and that is okay. Having the hair fall off was actually part of the course. Your hair has different phases. The hair that was going to die, that was going to fall off of your head, was going to die anyways. You're just experiencing it all at once, which is traumatizing. But that leaves room for new hair to grow. And that means that your hair is constantly in this hair growth phase. It's kind of like having someone massage your scalp at all times, just bringing blood flow up to the top of your head. So not only did my hair grow way faster, it grew thicker, it grew stronger. And I know people had experiences where they've talked about their hair changing texture. That was not my experience per se. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but my hair texture stayed the same. And I had to get over that. I know people use a derma roller. I don't do it with a derma roller. I actually use just a little comb. I would just take it and I would just put it in different parts of my scalp. I would just put little dots on my scalp. And then I would take this comb and then I would brush it in and I would just let it dry. I felt like when I did the oil, like there's a lot of dripping, and if you aren't careful, you can actually get like hair growth on your face. If you are not careful, like I only do this during the day. I will wash my hair every single time I use ROgain because one, I don't want it on my pillow. I don't want to grow it on my face. And two, I have a dog. If you have any small furry friends, this is actually quite fatal to them. Do not let them touch this at all. I have a brush that I use or a comb that I use that will exclusively use it. I don't even use my hands. And every time I use it, I let it sit. I will lock myself in the bathroom to make sure that Kona does not barge through and give me attention because she is a needy gal. So am I. And I will just let it sit and dry. The oil is harder to control, in my opinion, and I will say that it did make my scalp a little bit drier, but I could afford that because I already had oily hair. So to counteract that, I also started ketoconazole shampoo. So this shampoo is actually an anti-dandruff shampoo. I will put this on, I will wash my hair every day. I do not care. I know there are people who say don't wash your hair every day. I don't care what they have to say. I will wash my hair every single night. I will put this on. I will let it sit on my hair for about 5 minutes. Let's sink in, let's soak through, and let it really just like get into my scalp so it'll actually like help. Because this is also a great hair loss prevention product. I spent hundreds of dollars for something that probably cost me 40 bucks that actually work, that have a lot of evidence that they work. And it took a long time. Like I would say that it took about a year for new hair to grow. I used to actually put makeup on my scalp to prevent people from seeing that my hair was thinning. That was hard because I still had this channel. I would do hairstyles that made my hair look bigger, like I am a big hot rollers gal, to prevent people from knowing that my hair was thinning. So those two products actually did way more for me than anything that I've ever purchased at a Sephora. Let's talk about the downsides. Well, the downsides of ROgain is number one, the dread shed that I was telling you about earlier. But two, it can make your scalp pretty dry. And if you aren't careful, it can also make you look like you have dandruff. But I felt like that was only occasionally, not every day. And I would say that when it came to pros and cons, I rather have more hair with a little bit of dandruff than have bald spots. Two, it is something you have to do on a regular basis. And when you stop, that means that the follicles that are like the blood that's coming up to your scalp to help your hair grow, that's going to go away. But it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. That and it takes a long time to see results. Like, only now do I look at my hair and be like, oh, you have big hair now. I didn't have that before. So you have to be patient with it. It's kind of similar to how you have to be patient with like retinol or be patient at the gym. That means that you should not be overdoing it. So I feel like when you first start something, it's easy to become obsessed with it and then you just do all of it all at once. Those are kind of the biggest downsides. And I think that the downsides are very much outweighed by the upside. I will link a Dr. Dre video, who is a dermatologist who actually talks about this. I think if you have any questions, ask me. But I would also recommend you ask a professional. Ask a dermatologist. Go talk to your dermatologist if you can. I also think that's really easy for me to say that as I have great health insurance and it's like a place of privilege to go. But if you have a way of making it work, please do. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you have any success stories about hair, I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have luscious, beautiful hair.